Good afternoon. Please continue to enjoy your lunch. I am Victoria Perry, the immediate past president of ACCA, and I have the pleasure of introducing our Chancellor, Mr. Jimmy H. Baker. Chancellor Baker is a native of Coffee County, Alabama. He attended high school in New Brockton and later earned a Bachelor's of Science degree in Business Administration from Troy University. He earned a graduate degree in Economics and Education Administration and an Educational Specialist degree from Auburn University, where he was also certified in school administration. He served for 6 years in the United States Army Reserve. Professionally, he taught history and social study at the high school level, coached football, basketball at Dadeville High School, and served as the Assistant Superintendent of Education for Dadeville Board of Education and Superintendent of Coffee County Board of Education and Finance. In 1979, he was appointed to serve as the State of Alabama Assistant State Superintendent of Education, and he served in that role for 4 years. Throughout his career, he has been instrumental in the development of partnerships with businesses, including medical evacuation, real estate development, and governmental affairs. As an educator, he chaired and served on numerous committees, including the Alabama Textbook Committee, the State Tenure Committee, and the Alabama Association of School Administrators. After joining the Alabama Community College, first serving as the Governmental Affairs Consultant, he was appointed as Chief of Staff in January of 2016. Mr. Baker was appointed as Acting Chancellor of the Alabama Community College System in August of 2016. In March of 2017, he was named Chancellor of the Alabama Community College System. Chancellor Baker was selected as the Alumnus of the Year in November of 2018 at Troy University Alumni Association, received a Doctor of Law degree in July of 2019 during the Troy University Summer Commencement Program, and named Distinguished Community College State Director by Phi Theta Kappa Honor Society in February of 2021. He is married to Joy, a retired teacher, and they are the parents of 2 daughters and the proud grandparents of 4 grandchildren. Please help me welcome to the podium Chancellor Jimmy H. Baker.
Thank you. Thank you. I apologize for such a long, can't keep a job report. But I will tell you this. One of the most rewarding and exciting things I've ever had the opportunity to do in my life of work has been associated with you, this group of people, and people across this state to do everything we can to help this state by moving forward with the Alabama Community College system, the best system. And you hear me say this all the time, the best system, the best vehicle to bring about change in this state and move more and more into the direction that we need to move. I was thinking a little bit earlier, listening to some of the discussions and some of the talk about what's happened in the state of Alabama. I grew up, as did many of you, at the time when you were supposed to go to college and get a degree. Now, some of you are young enough, maybe you didn't have that, but it was kind of like if you didn't go, you were not doing what you should do. And you probably were never going to be rewarded for making significant progress in improving your livelihood, your income, and your enjoyment of work. You remember those days. But things have changed considerably. I had a mayor of Andalusia, Alabama, who's a good friend, tell me not too long ago, Jimmy, I need trained people, people who can work, people who have skills. I don't need more people with a BS degree in business because we have only a couple of stores that hires clerks. And I looked at him and I said, well, Earl, you know, I have a BS degree in business. So I don't know that I agree with that entirely, but there's a world of change that has occurred. Now, I don't have any way to compete with the previous speaker that you heard. But let me tell you a little story. I grew up in Coffee County. I grew up learning to swim in Pea River when we could find a hole big enough or deep enough to swim in. But I also learned some other things. Our swimming hole on Pea River, at Pea River, was on the property owned by the family of Big Jim Folsom. Now, most of you are not old enough to remember Big Jim Folsom, but you've heard of him. Entertaining individual. But it was delightful that I had the opportunity to sit on the bank, on the sandbar, and listen to a governor and former governor who did some pretty good things. Among other things, he did wasn't so necessarily good. But he did declare and have laws passed that said you're going to have school in the public schools a certain number of days. Prior to that, schools in the country pretty much went to school as they chose. He also said he believed in one man, one vote. Prior to that, Barber County might have 3 senators and Jefferson County 1. So a lot of things have changed, but there's some other change that impact us. A little story that's a true story. Ryan DeGraffenreid, many of you will remember, super individual from Tuscaloosa, Alabama, passed on, served in the state senate for a number of years. And he was the pro tem of the Senate at the time. Jim Folsom Jr. was the lieutenant governor. And at the same time, Jim Folsom finally became governor because of the governor leaving. And during that time, there was ongoing negotiations with Mercedes-Benz. And it had been back and forth and back and forth. And finally, the decision was made, we're going to make one last effort to close the deal with Mercedes-Benz. And Ryan tells a story about he and Jim Jr. going to Germany to make the last shot. And Ryan told me, he said, you know, we hadn't even talked about what we were going to offer. And he said, I gave time for Jim to have a sip or two. I think he was Episcopalian. I'm just quoting the previous speaker. And he went up and sat down by him. And I can visualize this, knowing both of them. Ryan said, well, Governor, we've got a meeting the next day after we land. What are we going to offer? As Jim would have been and would have said, he made a profound statement. And it was almost to the word, whatever in the hell they want. That has changed this state at a level that many of us never dreamed. See, back when we were all in high school, we thought the only way to make a good living was to have a college degree. Now listen, folks, I still support college degrees, whether it be an associate, and encourage those to go on and secure further degrees. I think that alone helps improve the quality of life for everyone, the community you live in as well as yourself. But in this day and age, many of you in your workforce programs have students that spend a limited number of months training and developing skills that will make more than the average college degree graduate will ever make. That has changed this state. But it's a bigger change than just Mercedes. Since that time, we've been very fortunate to receive, because of efforts made by state government and local governments, many other people who need highly trained, highly skilled employees. One little feature that I've always remembered, after the deal with Mercedes was made, then Jim Jr. ran for governor again. Same time, I managed his opponent's campaign, Bob James. I was a statewide manager of his campaign. And after he was elected, I was finance director for the state of Alabama. The first piece of paper on my desk that I had to deal with, how in the world are we going to pay Mercedes the amount of money that was committed to them? That was my first project, and it took a while to scramble up a plan for doing that along with the legislature. But the history of the growth of the state of Alabama, based upon manufacturing and those things that tend to support manufacturing, has been phenomenal. But it has provided huge opportunities for the community college system. Because we offer not just the workforce programs, but we also offer the academic programs. And as we move deeper and deeper into providing those workforce and skills training programs, let's don't forget that the quality of life of those people is still enhanced by the academic excellence that they receive along the way. We need to be interested in building the whole person. But we are making strides because, there's some competition in the state. It's always interesting when you sit down and start talking to some industry about coming to our manufacturing company, coming to Alabama. Who do I talk to? Who can I anticipate providing the kinds of things that we need. And you can go down and list a number of different organizations that want to be and are in one way or the other in training. Our goal is to be the major, without any question, training organization that is afforded to all businesses. And we're not, as some others are, restricted to just recruiting new business. We want to help the small business. We want to help those people. If you realize this, small business makes up a major portion of every community. And we cannot be guilty of neglecting opportunities to be provided to those as well. So as we move forward, I want you to understand that our mission, yes, we are accused of being too focused on this or too focused on this. I want us to be the answer to what is the best organization. Who is the best organization to provide the leadership in this state, to help this state move forward? And it's none other than the community college system. I really believe that. And I will tell you this. Today, I can say, because I've said it already publicly, we have the best group of presidents that we've ever had leading as a total group this system. Not the first one of them was picked by a politician. Now that's a big statement. And I've offended a few folks along the way. But that's their problem as long as we are fulfilling the need to provide the kind of training and the education opportunities that should be made available in this state. Now we have our problems, but we work together to solve those problems. I've probably been somewhat, did I disappear? Maybe I shouldn't have said what I was about to say. But I know that it sometimes has been painful. I've asked a lot of our local schools, our local colleges. I've asked a lot of you to do a lot of things that would not be easy. Someone mentioned earlier, we've implemented a common software program where every school is doing things in a similar way. We're expanding what we're doing with technology across the state. We're not in the 80s. We're moving forward, and we're going to be the lead education organization in this state. I spent 11 years as a local superintendent, a city system and a county system. I actually taught school for a year and coached. And I struggle with this issue. I watch the expenditures of state funds. I watch the expansion of programs. And every year, I look at test results. And I look at those results and my heart falls. Because we are not in the basic education programs across the state, in the elementary and high schools, in the areas where they need the help. We're not making the impact we need to make. And you get those students. And we have to provide the remediation. And I'm fine with that. Someone has to. I'd long for the day when people wake up and say, look, every student needs the opportunity to be successful And you just heard the speaker earlier. I thought that was a super presentation of what can happen if someone just pays attention. So as we move forward, we need to develop better relationships with our local K through 12 systems. And we're doing that. Many of you are doing that. I had conversations with someone this morning. I see you sitting right over there, about what we're doing in working with the K through 12. But as we move forward, I want you to adopt within your own mind and with the job responsibility that you have, that our mission is to do everything we can to make this state and the population of this state better. Better because they are better equipped to enjoy life, live a richer life, and better because they have the skills that are necessary to make a good living. So that's all I want. And I hope you can adopt that basic principle. And let's move forward with the good things that you're already doing. I'm so excited about what you're doing, but I'm not satisfied that we're doing everything that needs to be done. So as we go forward, I want you to know that the Board of Trustees of the community college system is committed to doing everything we can to help you fulfill the mission that is the mission of the community college system. And we're going to be asking you to do more things. You know, I find that people who are busy tend to be more productive, and sitting around and thinking about it, oftentimes it doesn't get done. Let's be doers and committed to a mission. But you know, unless we have some concept of what the mission is for us, we probably won't ever fulfill that mission. So I want each of you individually to let's evaluate what you think needs to happen, how you want it to happen, and let's move forward and accept the understanding that we are the solution to the major problems of this state, and we're going to do our job regardless of what it takes. And with that, enjoy your lunch. I hope I haven't bothered your lunch. And I want you to understand we are going to be there to help you in any way we can, but we can't do it without hearing from you. So as we go forward, I'm excited. I want you to be just as excited as I am. Thank you a lot.
Thank you, Chancellor Baker. We all appreciate you being here supporting the Alabama Community College System Conference and providing us your vision, your insight of our system. Please accept this gift from the Executive Committee, ACCA Executive Committee. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you a lot. I appreciate all of you.